Good morning, good afternoon, good day, everyone. My name is Krista, and you are watching Heart to Heart. Well, our subject today is, have you ever stayed in a job too long? And if so, why? And what advice do you have for people? Well, I've got some stories for this one. Anyways, let's go to the girls, and let's start with Janice.
Have you ever stayed in a job too long? My last, I've stayed in several jobs. I've had several jobs, but the last one I had, it had to be one of the best jobs I've ever had. I worked in the municipal department of a large downtown law firm, and it was great. I have to say, it was one of the best jobs ever. And when you say, have you ever stayed too long? I think people have to sort of evaluate when they think it's time to leave. And that being, is there any movement in your job? Are you wanting to move up the ladder in some way? Are you being given that opportunity? And if you feel that way, then that's the time to start looking. And there's various ways, of course, in which to start looking. And people often go about that. And then a lot of times they just stay in the same job because they feel secure. They have that comfort level. And when you are finished with having that comfort level and you want to move on, then you also start to look at other opportunities, such as doing an entrepreneurial type job, looking online, finding something that you might want to do elsewhere. And that's why we are all here. We are all our own entrepreneurs. We're all our own bosses, so to speak, but we are all in the same um, type of business together. So that's how I look at my position as giving advice as to when to change and what to do. Thank you, Krista.
Yes, thank you, Janice. And yes, the old saying is, well, I don't know if it's an old saying, but I've heard the saying, the best time to look for another job is when you have a job, right? Not wait
Exactly.
until it's
Yes.
too late, right? Okay, Tina, your turn.
Yeah, I've definitely been in the position where, first of all, good morning, everybody. But yes, I have been in a position where I have stayed too long. And I was like reflecting on that, and some of it was like necessity, some of it was location, some of it was financial, whatever the reasons may be. And then it kind of became toxic, and then I had to reevaluate some things, and that's when I realized, you know what, I don't like this. I'm worthy of better. I deserve better. I don't need to be treated this way in a job. So it was, for me, it was about self-respect. So that would be
Yeah.
the advice is, like when it starts infringing on your boundaries and infringing on your self-respect and all of those things, like your well-being, mental, physical, spiritual, whatever, needs to come into play when it comes to your job, because you do it for people doing their job. You're spending as much time there, if not more, than you are at home or with your family or friends or doing what you really want to do. So you better be in a good spot, right? And yeah, self-preservation, definitely self-preservation.
Oh, yeah, totally, Tina, because we work to live, not to live to work, right?
Yeah. But I did
Yeah,
learn
so
from that job, like to be more empathetic and more compassionate as a result. I
mhm,
did learn a lot from that job, even though it was a very toxic environment. But I knew that this is what I wanted to pursue. I wanted to be my own boss and
yeah,
go from there. Yeah. Thanks.
thank you. Okay, Pam, your turn.
Good morning, everyone. Have I ever stayed in a job too long? I don't think I have. I think for like Tina said, location has a lot to do with the industries that I've worked in. Because I live in a little community where there's not a lot of options here. when I went to school, I always wanted to be a secretary for a large corporation. Well, if I was that, I would have had to go away and live in a big city. And I don't know if I was ever ready to live in a big city because I'm, like you say, I'm used to live in the boonies, or I live in rural area. So like I'm pretty comfortable where I am. So I went to and did my secretarial science course, and I went to work in a convenience store. What did I do there? I found that I had, it made me bring out my expertise because I wasn't there. I was there like all of 2 weeks when the boss passed over the reins to me and he said, we're going on vacation and it's all up to you. So right from there, I felt like I was a leader. So from there, I worked there like probably 15 years. And it was right on my own doorstep. What did I do there? I hired and fired. I took care of the payroll. I took care of the ordering. We had the post office at the time. So like there was a lot of options in there. So I was growing. But when the time come for me to change positions, I had the opportunity of becoming an entrepreneur. The business was passed over to me. I had to take that over then. So I became an entrepreneur. That was kind of difficult at the time because I felt like I was thrown in the forest and not knowing my way around. So yes, I learned from that. Did I need to change my attitude from there? Yes, I did. And I needed to move on when the out-migration started here in the little community. I had to close my doors because it wasn't feasible anymore for me to do that. But I love serving people. So I went away and I did different odd jobs, and I found another job that I was quite satisfied doing, and that is serving people. Because now for the past 15 seasons, I have worked in tourism, and I love it because I get to meet people on a daily basis. And it's kind of like being an entrepreneur worldwide, just like in our business, because each day in my business, I reach people worldwide. And that is like when I'm working in tourism in the summertime. I help people, I direct people, and I fill their needs. And that is me. My advice to you is do something that you feel good about, because I feel good when I go and I serve people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Pam. Okay, Raquel, your turn. Oh, you're on mute. There you go.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, so what is the question again?
Have you ever stayed in a job too long, like past the time that you should have? And
okay.
why did you stay? And what advice do you have?
I don't know what you mean. Too long? How long is that too long? But anyway, when I came to Australia, I was working in a farm, and then I worked there for a couple of years, and then study. I studied because I want to go to a university, and then I by the end of that studying to go to the university, I um I applied as a assistant nurse. So I worked there for 10 years. So before when I started as an assistant nurse there, I really loved the job because I can mix with other people and looking after older people. And yeah, so and then after after few how many years, after I think after 8 years, I got a what do you call it? I got a scholarship to become an endorsed enrolled nurse. So I got that one, and yeah, so I step up as a endorsed nurse. So I love my job. So even though when we moved to Karata, the same thing. I have a same job, enrolled nurse. So I really love it because you get to help older people. I love to deal with them, with their different personality, and it's like I feel like I'm really good at it because every residence that you're looking up after, they are all different, right? They all have different attitudes, and then you can deal with it, and then you sort of change your attitude as well towards this person, and then to this other person, you sort of like change, in every situation, meeting the different residents. So yes, and what is the last one?
Any
What is the
advice?
last one?
Any
Advice. Yeah. Because I love my job. So my advice, of course, if you really love what you do, just stay with your job. But if you are not, you can just have a look like an online business, like we have now. So like me, I'm online business owner. So we same thing. We are helping other people in our online business. So I love to help people. Um, yeah, that's all, Krista.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Raquel. Well, all of you have been very fortunate in your work history. I'd have to say, my work history is very colorful. After listening to all of you, I've had many jobs over the years. I worked 2 and 3 jobs raising my girls because I was a single mom. So a lot of them were part time. And they weren't always in the most respectful environments. But I stayed because of fear of, I'm raising my girls. I needed the money. But the thing is I didn't need to stay. I thought I did at that time, but now looking back, I didn't because I always found something else. I could have left and found something else. And because I stayed in these positions too long, it always ended badly because when the universe wants to steer you in a direction, it will. So either you leave on your own or it will steer you in that direction anyways. I found that out for sure because I've been laid off from many jobs. I've been fired. I've quit. I've the last position I had as an office manager in long term care was the best job I ever had, and I loved it. But I still stayed at that job too long as well. Because once you've learned what you need to learn in that position and it becomes boring, or you start not learning anything in your position anymore, it's time to move on to something else. And that could be adding another income stream, like what we're doing now. That could be what it means. You could stay in your position and add another income stream, or it could mean that you totally leave your position. But when you start feeling that boredom or that you've learned everything you can learn in your position, it's time to look for something else or add something, because we're meant to keep continually learning in our lives. So I've had lots of learning in my life. So I have lots of experience, and staying too long, if you do that, you will end up leaving either on your own terms or on somebody else's terms, because the universe, like I said, will steer you that way. So anyways, if you're looking for a change, I hope you enjoyed our discussion and you are looking for a change. We would love to hear from you, because adding another income stream, you can do this with your existing position. And it's quite easy because we all did that and we're all doing that. So, I hope to hear from you, and I know these girls would love to hear from you as well. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Take care.